One more hour. Just one more hour and I can pack up. Hey, are you... Oh my God, you're burning up. I can't... Everything's spinning. When's the last time you ate? Ate? Thursday? Maybe Wednesday? It's Saturday. You haven't eaten in 3 days. Doesn't matter. Nothing stays down anyway. I just need to get back to the office. Office? You need a hospital. No hospitals. No time. Board meeting at 6. Merger at 8. I can't... Okay, don't die on my cart, please. The police already want to shut me down. This is insane. I'm feeding a dying stranger at 2 a.m. This is how I get deported. Open. Come on, just one bite. What is... Jollof rice, plantains, suya. Now eat before you die and I get blamed. He takes a bite, long pause, his breathing changes. What is this? I just told you, Jollof. No, what is this? Why does it taste like what? Like I want to live again. Then live. Eat. He eats, slowly at first, then desperately, like a starving man. I haven't kept food down in 6 weeks. I've tried everything. Michelin-star restaurants, hospital IV nutrients. Everything comes back up. But this stays down? Stays down. Who are you? Sarah John, street vendor. Illegal immigrant, soon to be deported if immigration catches me. Sarah John. He says her name like tasting it. And you are Park Jun-shi, CEO, dying man, until 5 minutes ago. CEO? Of what? A startup? Of Park Tech Industries, $60 billion empire, 12,000 employees, and as of this moment, I'm sorry, what? You just saved my life. I don't let things that save my life walk away. I just fed you jollof rice. I didn't perform surgery. Kim Isa. Yes, it's me. I need you to buy a property. The entire city block of Itaewon and 47th. By dawn. I don't care what it costs. Wait. That's where my cart was. Past tense. As of 6 a.m., I own this block, your cart, your recipes, and if you agree, I can't just buy me. I'm not buying you, I'm hiring you. I don't want a job. I'm dying for 6 months. Stress-induced gastroparesis. My stomach rejects everything. I've lost 40 pounds, passed out 3 times this week. Board of directors is planning to remove me. Competitors are circling like sharks. I have maybe 2 weeks before I collapse permanently or get overthrown. And then you feed me street food at 2 a.m., and for the first time in half a year, I don't feel like I'm dying. I'm not a miracle worker. I just cook. Then cook. For me. Only me. Name your price. I don't have papers. Immigration is hunting me. I can't just... Kim Isa. Immigration issue. Korean work visa. Expedited. By dawn. Make it permanent residency. I don't care what strings you pull. Done. You have papers by morning. This is insane. I don't even know you. You know I was dying and you fed me anyway. You know I'm desperate. You know I'm dangerous. And you know... He stops very close to her. That you're considering it. I'm not. Lie to yourself. Don't lie to me. I can see it in your eyes. You're calculating. How much money? How much safety? How much freedom? And what exactly would this job entail? You cook 3 meals a day in my penthouse under my supervision. You live in my guest wing. You don't leave without my security. You don't cook for anyone else. You become mine. That's not a job. That's captivity. That's survival.
Yours and mine. You're illegal with no options. I'm dying with unlimited resources. We save each other. And if I say no, then I collapse in 3 days, die in 2 weeks, and you get deported by month end when immigration raids this block like they've been planning. He shows her his phone. Official immigration raid schedule. Her location highlighted. How do you... I know everything. I own half this city. The other half owes me favors. Long pause. Streetlights flickering. 2:47 a.m. If I do this, I want full legal citizenship, not just residency. Done. My own bank account, separate from yours. Done. And I leave whenever I want. No locked doors, no prison. You can leave, but you won't. You sound awfully confident, because in 3 days you'll realize something terrifying. What? That feeding me isn't just keeping me alive. It's the first time your life has had purpose, meaning, power. You'll realize you don't want to leave. You'll want to stay. Not because I'm forcing you, but because you've finally found someone who needs you, really needs you, the way you need to be needed. Long pause. She's shaking. You're a manipulative bastard. I'm a dying man who just found his reason to live. Same thing. He extends his hand. Deal? This is the stupidest decision I've ever made. She takes his hand. Deal. He grips her hand, not letting go. Good. My driver's arriving in 2 minutes. Your cart's being moved to storage. Your belongings? This cart is my belongings. Then you're traveling light. I like that. Welcome to your new life, Sarah John. Try not to run. I hate chasing things I've already claimed. I'm not a thing. No, you're the woman who saved my life, which makes you far more dangerous. She gets in. He gets in beside her. Door closes. Where to, sir? Home. And send the immigration papers to my legal team. Citizenship. Expedited. By dawn. What have I just done? Saved me. Doomed yourself. Became mine. Take your pick. Welcome to Black and Korean Chronicles, where love is a transaction until it isn't, where survival becomes obsession, where feeding someone becomes the most dangerous thing you'll ever do. Tell us where you're watching from. Hit that subscribe button immediately, because what you're about to witness isn't a love story. It's a hostage negotiation where both people are captives. Now, let's watch her realize what she's really agreed to. The elevator opened directly into the penthouse. No hallway, no warning, just straight into obscene wealth. Sarah John stepped out and her breath died. Floor-to-ceiling windows wrapped the entire space, Seoul's skyline glittering like scattered diamonds below. The floor was polished black marble that reflected everything. Minimalist furniture that cost more than most people's houses, art on the walls that belonged in museums, and silence. The kind of silence that came from being 60 floors above the noise of the world. This is... She couldn't finish. Home, Junshi said simply, stepping out behind her. Yours now. Guest wing is east side, master suite west. Kitchen, he gestured, is center, where you'll spend most of your time. The kitchen was a chef's wet dream, professional-grade everything. Gas ranges, induction cooktops, 3 ovens, 2 massive refrigerators, marble countertops, copper pots hanging from racks, knives that probably cost more than her entire cart. I've never cooked in anything like this, Sarah admitted, her Nigerian accent softening with awe. You'll learn. Junshi moved to the center island, pulled out a stool, sat, watched her. First meal. Now. She turned. Now? It's almost 5 a.m. I'm hungry. His dark eyes held hers, unblinking. You said you'd cook, so cook. I don't even know what you have. Everything.
I had my staff stock it yesterday after I started researching Nigerian cuisine, attempting to replicate what I couldn't have. They failed. His jaw tightened. You won't. Sarah opened the first refrigerator, stopped, stared. Every ingredient she could dream of, Nigerian, Korean, international, fresh, pristine, organized like a commercial kitchen. You researched Nigerian food? I research everything that might save my life. He stood, walked toward her. She tensed. He reached past her into the refrigerator, pulled out a container of palm oil, handed it to her. Including you. You researched me? Sarah John, 28, Lagos born, came to Seoul 3 years ago on culinary school scholarship, lost funding when your sponsor died, visa expired, couldn't afford deportation ticket, couldn't afford to stay legally, started illegal street vending 6 months ago, gifted cook, no formal training beyond 6 months of culinary school, everything else self-taught from your grandmother's recipes. Sarah's hands shook. That's thorough. He stepped closer. She could smell his cologne, expensive, dark, cedar and smoke. I told you, I know everything. Your favorite color is yellow. You cry during sad movies but pretend you don't. You send half your earnings back to your mother in Lagos every month, even though it means you barely eat. You're terrified of thunder because your father died in a lightning storm, and you've been sleeping in a women's shelter for 3 months because you can't afford rent. Tears burned her eyes. Stop. Why? I'm just stating facts. Facts that make you human, vulnerable, real, everything the people in my world aren't. Then why do you want me here if I'm so different from your world? Because different is the only thing keeping me alive right now. He moved even closer, trapped her between the refrigerator and his body, not touching, but close enough she could feel his heat. Not touching, but close enough she could feel his heat. My hand came up, fingers traced the air near her face without touching, like he was memorizing her features. Then you, different, unexpected, real, and my body said yes for the first time in months. Sarah's breath came faster. That's not, you can't put that on me, that's too much pressure. I know. He stepped back, gave her space. That's why I'm paying you 100 million won a month. She choked. 100 million? That's almost 70,000 US dollars. Plus room and board, plus citizenship, plus anything you need. He returned to his stool. Now cook. I'm hungry, and we have 4 hours before I need to be in the office looking like I'm not dying. Sarah's hands moved on autopilot. She'd cooked through stress before, through fear, through exhaustion. This was all 3. She chopped, seasoned, heated oil. Her grandmother's Jollof rice recipe flowed through her hands like muscle memory. Plantains sliced and fried, suya spiced and grilled under the broiler. And the whole time Jun-shi watched. Not his phone, not the news, not the sunrise breaking over Seoul. Just her. Why do you stare like that? She asked, not looking up at the rice she was stirring. Because you're the most interesting thing in my life right now. I'm just cooking. You're creating, with passion, purpose, love. When was the last time I did anything with love? His voice went hollow. I build companies, destroy competitors, sign contracts, make billions, but create with love, never. The rice finished. She plated it, added the plantains, the suya, crossed to him, set it down. Eat. He picked up the fork, took a bite, closed his eyes, and something in his face broke, softened, became human. My mother, he whispered, eyes still closed, used to make me salongtong, oxbone soup. I was 8 when she died, haven't been able to eat it since. It all tastes like grief. He opened his eyes. They were wet. But this tastes like someone cares if I live or die. Sarah's throat tightened. I do care. I mean, I don't want you to die. That would be bad. Bad for your paycheck? Bad for my conscience. She sat across from him. I'm not a monster. You're a human being. Complicated and manipulative and terrifying, but human. He ate slowly, savoring, like every bite was precious. "Tell me about your grandmother," he said between bites. "Why?" "Because her recipes are keeping me alive. I should know her." So Sarah talked about Grandma Blessing, about learning to cook on a kerosene stove in Lagos, about the way food was love in her family, the way feeding someone meant claiming them as yours to protect. Junshi listened, ate, and for the first time in 6 months, his plate came back empty. "More," he said. "You'll get sick if you overeat after starving." I said more. Not a request, a command. Sarah's spine straightened. "I'm your cook, not your servant." "Same thing." "No, it's not." She stood. "A cook creates, a servant obeys. If you want someone to obey, hire a maid. If you want someone to cook, then respect the craft." Silence. His eyes darkened. Dangerous. Then he smiled. Small. Real. "You just set a boundary with the man who owns you." "You don't own." "I like it." He stood, walked around the island, stopped in front of her. "Everyone in my life says yes to everything. It's exhausting. But you," he leaned close, "you're going to be trouble, aren't you? If trouble means having self-respect, then yes." "Good." His breath touched her lips. "I'd hate for you to be boring." Then he walked away, toward the master bedroom. "Sleep," he called back. "We start your real duties tonight." "What real duties?" He paused in his doorway, looked back. Something predatory flickered across his face. "You'll see." The door closed. Sarah stood in the kitchen, surrounded by wealth she'd never imagined, feeding a man she barely knew, trapped in a deal she didn't fully understand. And somewhere deep inside, a voice whispered, "You should run." But her feet didn't move, because another voice, quieter but stronger, whispered back, "What if he's right? What if you don't want to?" Sarah awoke to darkness and the sound of someone crying. No, not crying. Retching. She bolted upright in the guest bedroom. Silk sheets, a mattress that cost more than a car, floor-to-ceiling windows showing Seoul's night-drunk skyline. The sound came again, violent, painful, from the master suite. She shouldn't go, wasn't her business. She was the cook, not the caretaker. But her feet moved anyway. The master bedroom door was cracked open. Light spilled from the attached bathroom. "Junshi." She pushed the door wider. The bathroom was marble and glass and obscene luxury, and in the center of it all, Park Jun-shi, $60 billion CEO, Korea's most feared corporate shark, was on his knees in front of the toilet, shaking. "Get out." His voice was raw, broken. "You're sick." "I said, get out." He retched again. Nothing came up. His body was rejecting nothing because there was nothing left. Sarah grabbed a cloth, ran cold water, knelt beside him. "Don't touch me." But his voice had no strength behind it. She pressed the cold cloth to the back of his neck anyway. "When did this start?" "An hour ago. Always happens. Day meal stays down, night meal comes back up, every single time." "You didn't tell me that." "Why would I?" He slumped against the toilet, exhausted, vulnerable. Nothing like the predator from this morning. "What did you eat for dinner?" she asked quietly. "Nothing. I ate what you made this morning, that's it. I can only keep down 1 meal a day, sometimes not even that." "Junshi, that's not sustainable." "You think I don't know that?" He laughed bitterly. "I've seen 12 specialists, tried 40 medications, been hospitalized twice. They all say the same thing. It's psychosomatic. My body's shutting down because my mind is breaking. Stress-induced gastroparesis with severe anxiety component.
Translation, I'm dying because I can't stop working long enough to heal. Then stop working. His eyes snapped at hers, dark, hollow. I stop working, the company collapses. 15 hostile takeover attempts in the last year. Board members plotting behind my back. Competitors waiting for me to show one moment of weakness. I stop, I lose everything. You keep going, you die. Same result. At least if I die working, I die powerful. Sarah stood. Get up. What? I said get up. She held her hand. I'm making you something. Sarah, nothing stays down at night. Get up. Something in her voice made him obey. He took her hand, let her pull him to his feet, followed her to the kitchen like an obedient ghost. She didn't turn on the main lights, just the soft under-cabinet LEDs, made the massive kitchen feel intimate, small. My grandmother, Sarah said, pulling ingredients from the refrigerator, had this theory. She said some sicknesses aren't in the body, they're in the soul, and the soul doesn't need medicine, it needs memory. That's not science. Neither is a 32-year-old billionaire starving to death because he forgot how to rest. So maybe try something that's not science.
She worked in silence, boiling water, crushing ginger, adding honey, lemon, a pinch of something he didn't recognize. The kitchen filled with steam and fragrance, warm, soothing, nothing like the sterile hospital smells he'd been drowning in for months. When I was 7, Sarah said, straining the liquid into a mug, I got so sick I couldn't keep anything down. For 2 weeks, my mother was frantic, took me to every doctor, nothing worked. She brought the mug to him, set it down gently. Then Grandma Blessing came, didn't bring medicine, didn't bring doctors. She brought this, made me drink it while she told me stories, not about sickness, about life, about joy, about things worth living for. Yunshi stared at the mug. What happened? I stopped throwing up, not because the tea was magic, but because for the first time in 2 weeks, someone wasn't trying to fix me. Someone was just with me, in the sickness, not trying to cure it, just sitting with it. She pushed the mug closer. Drink. I'll sit with you. If it comes back up, it comes back up, but you won't be alone when it does. Yunshi picked up the mug with shaking hands, sipped. Warmth flooded his mouth, not medicinal, not clinical, just warm, like being held. He drank. She sat across from him in the dim kitchen. Seoul glittered outside the windows. The clock ticked past midnight, and nothing came back up. 5 minutes, 10, 15. It's staying down, he whispered, shocked. Because you're not afraid of it. You're not bracing for pain. You're just drinking tea with someone. His eyes met hers across the island. Something shifted in them, something dangerous. Why are you doing this? Doing what? This. Caring. You could just cook and collect your check, but you're here, at midnight, making me tea, sitting with me. Why? Sarah looked away. Because I know what it's like to be alone while dying inside, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone, even manipulative billionaire CEOs who buy people. I didn't buy you. You bought my location, my recipes, my time, and my legal status. That's pretty much buying me. No. He set the mug down, stood, walked around the island, stopped in front of her. I bought your freedom, from immigration, from poverty, from sleeping in shelters. I gave you power over the man who has power over everything else. What power? He took her hand, placed it over his chest. She could feel his heartbeat, rapid, strong. The power to keep this beating. You're the only thing standing between me and a coffin, Sarah. That's not ownership, that's dependence, and dependence is the most dangerous form of power there is. She should pull her hand away, should step back, should remember this was her employer, her captor, her... I'm falling for you. The words left his mouth like a confession at gunpoint. It's been 12 hours, and I'm falling for you, and it's terrifying, because I don't fall. I acquire, I control, I possess, but I don't fall. Sarah's hand stayed on his chest, feeling his heart race faster. Yunshi, you don't know me. I know you chose to feed a dying stranger instead of protecting yourself. I know you're sitting with me at midnight instead of sleeping. I know you look at me like a human instead of a monster. And I know, his hand covered hers, pressing it harder against his heart. I know that scares you as much as it scares me. This is insane. This is survival. He leaned closer. For both of us. You're my employer. I'm a dying man who found his reason to live. Job titles don't matter at midnight. His lips were an inch from hers. She could feel his breath, smell the tea on his tongue. If I kiss you, he whispered, everything changes. The deal, the boundaries, everything. So tell me no, right now. Tell me this is just a job, and I'll walk away. Sarah's breath shook. And if I don't tell you no, then I'll kiss you, and tomorrow we'll have to figure out what the hell we've just become. Silence. The city hummed below. The clock ticked past midnight. Sarah didn't say no. Yunshi kissed Sarah. Soft, reverent, like she was oxygen and he was drowning. Her hands moved from his chest to his face, his arms wrapped around her waist, pulling her close. The kiss deepened, desperate. 6 months of dying, meeting 12 hours of living. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, Yunshi pressed his forehead to hers. I'm going to destroy you. I'm possessive and controlling and broken, and I'm going to need you in ways that aren't healthy, and I won't be able to let you go even when I should. I know. And you're still here. I'm still here. Why? Sarah smiled sadly. Because I've been barely surviving for 3 years, and for the first time, someone needs me the way I need to be needed, even if it destroys us both. We're disasters waiting to happen. I know. He kissed her again, harder, claiming.
When his phone rang at 1 a.m., he ignored it. When it rang again at 1:15, he ignored it. At 1:30, it rang continuously. Finally, he answered. Didn't move away from Sarah. This better be life or death. His face changed. Went cold. Dangerous. When? Pause. How many? Pause. Fuck. I'll be there in 20 minutes. He hung up. What happened? Sarah asked. Hostile takeover. Emergency board meeting. They're trying to remove me while I'm incapacitated. His jaw clenched. Someone leaked that I've been sick. Now they're moving for the kill. At 1:30 a.m.? Corporate warfare doesn't sleep. He pulled away, started walking to his bedroom, stopped, turned back. Come with me. To the office? Junshi, I'm not... Come with me. Not a request. I need you there. I need to show them I'm not dying, and I need... His voice cracked. I need you. Sarah stared at this powerful man cracking open in front of her. Okay, I'll come. His relief was visible. Get dressed. Something that says untouchable. We're going to war. The boardroom was a cathedral of power, 60 floors above Seoul. Glass walls overlooking the city, a table that could seat 30, and 14 men in expensive suits sitting like vultures around a dying king's throne. They all turned when the doors opened. Park Jun-shi entered first. Immaculate black suit, despite the hour. Hair perfect, face composed, looking nothing like the man who'd been vomiting 90 minutes ago. And behind him, Sarah. She wore a dress Jun-shi's assistant had delivered to the penthouse. Midnight blue, elegant, expensive. Her natural hair was styled in a sleek bun, diamond earrings borrowed from God knows where. She looked like she belonged in this world. She felt like an imposter. "Gentlemen," Junshi's voice cut through the room like ice. "You called an emergency meeting at 2 a.m. I'm here. Speak." The man at the far end stood. Older, silver hair, expensive watch. Everything about him screamed old money and older grudges. "Chairman Park." His tone was respectful. His eyes were not. "We've called this meeting due to concerns about your health." "My health is none of your concern, Director Huang." "It is when it affects company performance. Stock prices have dropped 6% in 3 months. You've missed 4 board meetings, canceled investor dinners. Rumors are circulating." "Rumors." Junshi's smile was blade sharp. "And you believe rumors?" "We believe our eyes. You've lost significant weight. You're clearly unwell. The board feels it's time to consider alternative leadership. Temporarily, of course." "Of course." Junshi walked to his chair at the head of the table, didn't sit. "Temporarily until I'm conveniently dead or permanently removed. Which one were you planning, Director Huang?" The room went silent. Another board member cleared his throat. "Chairman Park, we have your best interests. You have your own interests. My 51% controlling share, my patents, my contracts, my empire." Junshi's eyes swept the room. "And you think because I've been sick, I'm weak, vulnerable, ready to be devoured." He smiled. Cold, dangerous. "You're wrong." He turned to Sarah, extended his hand. "Come here." Sarah's heart hammered. Every eye in the room locked on Sarah. She could feel their assessment, their judgment, their confusion. She took his hand. Junshi culled her to his side, possessive, public. "Gentlemen, meet Sarah John, chef, nutritionist, and as of 6 hours ago, my fiancé." The room exploded. "What? Chairman Park, this is highly irregular. You can't be serious. Who is she?" Sarah's world tilted. Fiancé? They'd kissed once. She'd known him 12 hours. But Junshi's hand tightened on hers, a warning. Play along. "My fiancé," Junshi continued, voice cutting through the chaos, "is specialized in therapeutic nutrition. She's been treating my condition. Successfully. And as you can see," he gestured to himself, "I'm standing here at 3 a.m. after a full day of work, not in a hospital bed, not weak, not dying." Director Huang's eyes narrowed. "This is convenient timing, very convenient." "Convenient? I call it survival. I found someone who could help me when your expensive specialists failed. I found someone I trust with my life. And yes, I'm marrying her. Problem? The optics, Junshi interrupted, are that your chairman found a solution to his health crisis and moving forward, stronger. The optics are that your little coup attempt is based on outdated information. The optics are that I'm still very much in control." He sat, finally, pulled Sarah down to sit beside him in the extra chair that shouldn't have been there but somehow was. "Now, you called this meeting to discuss my removal. I'm here, healthy, alert, capable. Vote if you want, but know this." His eyes went deadly. "Every single person who votes against me tonight will be audited by morning. Every contract you've signed, every deal you've made, every skeleton you've buried. I will find them, and I will use them. You can't threaten the board. I'm not threatening. I'm promising. You want war? I'll give you war. But you won't win. You never do." Silence. Heavy. Dangerous. Sarah felt like she'd walked into a den of wolves, and Junshi had just painted a target on her back by claiming her as his own. Director Huang sat down slowly. "Perhaps we were hasty. If your health is truly improving, it is. Then perhaps we can table this discussion. You can table it permanently. This meeting is over." Junshi stood. Sarah stood with him automatically. "Go home. Sleep. When you come back tomorrow, remember who owns this company, who built it from nothing, who will burn it to the ground before letting any of you take it." He walked towards the door, Sarah beside him. The board members parted like water. As they reached the elevator, Director Huang called out, "Chairman Park, one question." "What?" "Does she know what you really are, what you've done to build this empire, the bodies you've buried, the lives you've destroyed?"
Sarah felt Junshi tense beside her. "She knows enough," Junshi said quietly, "and she's still here. For now, but when she finds out the truth about Park Securities, about the Lee family, about what really happened to your father, that's enough." Junshi's voice dropped to lethal. "Mention my father again and I'll destroy you, publicly, painfully, permanently." The elevator doors opened. They stepped inside. As the doors closed, Sarah saw Director Huang smile, cold, knowing. He knows something bad. The elevator descended in silence, 40 floors, 30, 20. "Fiancé," Sarah finally said. "I needed to neutralize their attack. Making you my fiancé makes you untouchable. They can't claim I'm dying if I'm planning a wedding. You used me. I protected you. There's a difference." The elevator reached the ground floor. Doors opened. "They would have eaten you alive if they thought you were just staff, but my fiancé, my future wife, they can't touch you without touching me. And when this fake engagement ends..." Junshi stepped out, looked back at her. "Who said it's fake?" Before Sarah could respond, his phone rang. He answered, listened. His face went white. "When?" Pause. "How bad?" Pause. "Fuck. Send the address." He hung up, grabbed Sarah's hand, started running. "What's happening?" "Your immigration status just got flagged. Someone called in a tip. ICE equivalent is raiding the women's shelter where you used to sleep, looking for you." "But I have papers now." "That were expedited 6 hours ago. They're not in the system yet. If they find you before the paperwork processes," he pulled her toward his car, "they'll deport you before dawn." "Junshi, I can't go back to Nigeria. Everything I have is..." "You're not going anywhere." He shoved her into the car, got in beside her. "Driver, the airport, private terminal, now." "Airport? You said I'm not being deported." "You're not." He pulled out his phone, started typing frantically. "But Korea isn't safe tonight. We're going somewhere they can't touch you while the papers process." "Where?" He looked at her, something desperate and possessive and absolutely insane in his eyes. "Tokyo, my subsidiary office. We'll get married there, tonight. Japanese marriage license processes instantly, makes you family, protected, untouchable." "Married? Junshi, we kissed once. And I told you I wouldn't let you go. I meant it." The car peeled out. "You can hate me tomorrow, but tonight you marry me, or you lose everything." "This is insane." "This is survival." He cupped her face. "I'm dying without you. You're being deported without me. We're disasters alone. So let's be a disaster together. Legally, permanently, irrevocably." "You're asking me to marry a man I barely know." "I'm asking you to trust the man who's trusted you with his life. I'm asking you to take a leap into chaos with someone who's already falling. I'm asking," his voice cracked, "I'm asking you to save me one more time by letting me save you." Sarah stared at this broken billionaire who'd turned her life upside down in 12 hours. "If I say yes, then we land in Tokyo in 2 hours, married by dawn, and tomorrow we figure out what the hell we've become. And if I say no, then I put you on a commercial flight to Lagos with enough money to start over, and I go back to dying alone." The car raced toward the airport, Seoul blurred past the windows. Sarah should say no. should run, should choose freedom over this beautiful disaster, but she'd already chosen him the moment she'd fed him at 2 a.m. Yes, Junxi's eyes closed, relief, terror, joy all at once. Yes to marrying me. Yes to the chaos, yes to the disaster, yes to whatever this is. She took his face in her hands. But Junxi, if you hurt me, I'll hurt me worse, I promise. He kissed her as the car sped toward the airport, toward Tokyo, toward a wedding at dawn, toward a future neither of them understood, but both of them desperately needed.
Sarah John, now Sarah Park, stood in a Tokyo courthouse wearing a borrowed wedding dress, holding legal papers that made her a married woman, staring at a husband she'd known for 18 hours. Junxi stood beside her, wedding ring on his finger, looking at her like she was the only thing keeping him tethered to earth. "We're insane," Sarah whispered. "Completely." He pulled her close. "But you're not being deported, I'm not dying, and we just became the most complicated marriage in corporate history. What happens now?" "Now?" He smiled. "Dangerous, possessive, alive. Now we go back to Seoul, face the board, face your past, face whatever the hell Director Huang knows about my father, together, as husband and wife, as disasters who chose each other." Sarah looked out the window, Tokyo waking up, a new day, a new life, a new catastrophe. "I fed you jollof rice 18 hours ago, and I married you 6 hours later." He kissed her temple. "Best decision I ever made. You don't know that yet?" "No, but I'm willing to find out. Are you?" Sarah looked at her wedding ring, at this man, at this beautiful disaster. "Yeah, I am." Behind them, Junxi's phone buzzed, a message from Director Huang. "Congratulations on the wedding. Let's see how long she stays when she learns what you did to the Lee family. Some secrets don't stay buried. D.H." Junxi deleted it, pulled Sarah closer. Some disasters were worth it. Sarah fed a dying CEO at 2 a.m. 18 hours later, she married him in Tokyo. But in Junxi's world of blood and boardrooms, every rescue has a price, every savior becomes a weapon, and every secret eventually surfaces. Director Huang knows something about the Lee family, something that could destroy everything. And Sarah, she just became Mrs. Park, bound to a man whose past might devour them both. This isn't a love story, this is a corporate war, and Sarah just became the queen on a board full of kings who want her dead. If this story destroyed you emotionally, drop a comment and smash that subscribe button if you want more stories where love costs everything and healing costs more. Hit the notification bell so you never miss when I drop the next tale of passion, pain, and people who loved wrong but tried right. Until next time, see you in the next video.